All right, so in the last video I mentioned about how you don't want to use the pi over 6s. I'm going to talk about that right now. So let's go ahead. We'll do tangent of -15. So most people, when they do tangent of -15 and they keep my little rule in mind, they go, oh, let me add 45 to that. So -15 plus 45 gets you 30, right? So then I can do 30 minus 45 and that works, right? It does. It's just going to make our life suck. So we'll do 30 minus 45. All right. So I'm going to take this and put this in the equation. So I've got tangent 30 minus tangent 45 over 1 plus tangent 30 times tangent 45. And remember, again, it's important that what I put in here, since I'm subtracting, that this does in fact equal this, and it does. So if I had done 45 minus 30, I would have been getting the wrong answer to begin with anyways, because that would have been positive 15. All right, so my tangent at 30 is equal to square root 3 over 3, and my tangent at 45 is equal to 1. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute those numbers in over here. So that gets me square root 3 over 3 minus 1 divided by 1 plus square root 3 over 3 times 1. You can see why this is problematic, right? Kind of looks nasty. Well, let's take it one piece at a time. Let's go ahead and clean up this denominator a little bit. So I've got square root 3 over 3 minus 1 over, well, square root 3 over 3 times 1 is just square root 3 over 3, so I have 1 plus square root 3 over 3. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to go ahead and combine these together. In order to add these together or subtract them from one another, I have to have a common denominator. So put that over 1 times 3. So that's going to get me square root 3 minus 3 over 3. Okay? I'm going to do the exact same thing in the denominator here. And that's going to end up getting me 3 plus square root 3 over 3. All right, so now I have a fraction divided by a fraction. We've talked about that before. We've been doing that all year. Best rule to keep in mind is just keep, change, flip. So that's what I'm going to do. 3 plus square root 3. So I took this, flipped it, and changed it into multiplication. I can now cancel those out. I could have done it here. Most people don't see it that way. They'll see it here. So this right here simplifies to square root 3 minus 3 over 3 plus square root 3. Okay, so now this looks a lot like what we did before. Now we just need to rationalize this. So I'm going to multiply by the conjugate of this denominator here. So this is 3 plus square root 3, so I need to multiply by 3 minus square root 3 over 3 minus square root 3. So I do that to both top and bottom. Okay, so here we go. We're going to FOIL. I've got square root 3 times 3, so that gets me 3 square root 3. Square root 3 times negative square root 3 gets me negative 3. Negative 3 times 3 gets me negative 9. And I've got negative 3 times negative square root 3 is going to get me positive 3 square root 3. All right. I'm going to do the same thing for our denominator. We're going to FOIL again. 3 times 3, so 9. 3 times negative square root 3 is negative 3 square root 3. That's square root 3 times 3, so that gets me positive 3 square root 3. And I got square root 3 times negative square root 3, which is going to get me negative 3. So again, negative 3 square root 3 plus 3 square root 3, though, that's going to cancel those out. And that was our whole point in doing that. So now I'm going to just combine like terms. So I've got 3 square root 3 and I've got plus 3 square root 3 right here. So if I have 3x plus 3x, right? If I do 3x plus 3x, well, that just becomes 6x, right? So same idea here. I just combine 3 plus 3, and so I get 6 square root 3. And then minus 3 minus 9, so minus 12, over 9 minus 3, so 6. So now I just need to reduce. So I've got a 6 over 6 here, and I've got a negative 12 over 6 here. So that becomes square root 3 minus 2. All of that. So I don't want to do the square root 3 over 3's because it makes me go through this whole process right here. And even then, rationalizing here, multiplying by that conjugate with all those 3's, it tends to kind of cause mistakes. A lot of people right here would take 3 square root 3 and add 3 square root 3 and make that 9 square root 3, which you don't want to do that. So a lot of simple mistakes can be made there. Whereas if we just do it the other way that we did before, where we avoid using the pi over 6's here, so the square root 3 over 3. So instead, right here, I could do 45 minus 60, because 45 minus 60 is still negative 15, right? So let's do that one. Let's show you the difference side by side. So tangent of negative 15, we rewrite that as tangent 45 minus 60. Okay? So it's going to be tangent 45 minus tangent 60 over 1 plus tangent 45 tangent 60. And then off to the side here, we've got our tangent of 45 is equal to 1, and tangent of 60 is equal to square root 3. Okay? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute those in for my values here. So that's going to go ahead, and that will give me 1 minus square root 3 over 1 plus. Tangent 45 is 1, so I've got 1 times 60 square root 3. So I just have 1 minus square root 3 over 1 plus square root 3. So right from the get-go, I'm right here. I have skipped all of this right here, and I'm now at this step right here. So you don't have to do all of this nastiness. If you do choose to do a square root 3 over 3, you're going to have a bad time. Okay? So now, in order to get rid of the square root in the denominator, I'm going to multiply by the conjugate, 1 minus square root 3 over 1 minus square root 3. So we're going to go ahead, FOIL these bad boys on out. And now I get 1 times 1. Oops. Sorry. Oh well. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative square root 3 is negative square root 3. Negative square root 3 times 1 is negative square root 3. And then negative square root 3 times negative 3 is giving me positive 3. Okay. All right. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative square root 3 is negative square root 3. Square root 3 times 1 is square root 3. And then I got square root 3 times negative square root 3, and that's going to get me negative 3. So now I just need to go ahead and combine my like terms. So negative square root 3 minus square root 3 gives me negative 2 square root 3. 3 plus 1 gets me 4. And on the bottom, 1 minus 3 gets me negative 2, and those cancel out. So now I just need to reduce. So I've got these right here. So that'll end up getting me square root 3 minus 2. Okay? See how much easier that was? I got the same answer, didn't I? But it was just a few steps, whereas this is really frickin' ugly. So this is a great example of what not to do when doing tangent. So whenever doing tangent, you need to avoid the pi over 6's. Obviously, you can still do it if you do the pi over 6's. It's just going to be ugly. So you need to practice these, and you need to make sure that you know which ones to not use, and you need to make sure that you know what your tangents are all the way around your unit circle. Okay? Let me know if you have questions.